everybody, my name is Katova, and in this video I'm going to share with you the recipe for my favorite breakfast. Now, when we decide that we need to lose some weight or maintain our weight at the level where we have it, there is usually the question of sweets. No sweets. No sweets, no carbs, and this is really frustrating. Yeah, I hear your pain, absolutely. I love sweets, I cannot live without sweets. This is why I start my day with something sweet. So in this video, I'm going to share with you breakfast on the oatmeal, apples, honey, and cinnamon. So what we need for this sort of porridge, we're going to need oatmeal. So you can use this kind of oatmeal that is, kind of flakier, or you can use, which I'm going to use, this kind of oatmeal that is finer and it just cooks faster. So since I'm going to make this breakfast for myself, I'm going to use half cup of this oatmeal and half an apple. And I'm also going to need a bit of butter or oil. In my case, I'm using ghee butter. Then I'm going to need a bit of cinnamon and a bit of honey. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pan on high while I'm chopping the apple, just to make sure that the pan is hot enough. So I'm putting it on 6, and meanwhile I'm chopping the apple. So yeah, I don't usually have a half apple sitting around, I just have it left over from a previous video. So about the apple, if you want it cooked really thoroughly, then cut it as finely as you can, or into small pieces. I don't usually like my apple too cooked. That's why I have this half that I've cut into 2 quarters, and I'm going to slice it like this. Okay, while I've been slicing the apple, I really hope that my pan is warm enough. So for this, I'm going to use about half a teaspoon of butter or oil or any other fat. You can use a little bit more, but this is the way I like it. So I think this is about half a teaspoon. I'm not really excited about this. So I'm dropping here, making sure that it covers the bottom of my pan nicely. Then I'm setting the fire to 1, from maximum to minimum. This is when I'm going to drop the oatmeal into the pan, and I'm going to stir it for up to a minute, no more. But I keep stirring it really fast, just to make sure that nothing burns, and to make sure that the butter or oil or whatever else you're using for it covers it nicely. So I'm stirring it, and while I'm stirring it, I'll tell you why it's important to just fry it a little bit. Along with the carbs that our body needs, we also need fats. We need fats for our skin, for our hair, for proper digestion. And now that I've mentioned that fats are very important for our body, I'm also going to tell you why carbs are important. So, okay, before that, I'm going to put the apple here. Okay, so I've just added the apple, and I'll keep stirring for another minute. Okay, so carbs. Carbs are very important because we get energy from them. Now, if your diet is low on carbs, you cannot think. You have no energy for anything. It's just that, remember the last time you were trying to go on a diet and stop eating all carbs, especially sweets, you were just so unhappy, so low on spirits and everything. So carbs don't have to be fast carbs, doesn't have to be chocolate. You can also go for low carbs, like oatmeal, for example. Okay, now I'm going to add some water. Now, since I was using half cup of oatmeal, I'm going to use exactly the same amount of water, which is half a cup. So I'm pouring it over my porridge with my apple. I am adding a pinch of cinnamon. and I'm stirring it. And once I've stirred it up nicely with water covering my oatmeal, I am going to cover it. Now, if you're using a gas cooker, I would recommend setting it on super low if you're using fine oatmeal like I'm using, or turn it off completely. If you're using an electric cooker, just turn it off and let it sit, if you're using the kind of small fine oatmeal I'm using. Alright, so we're going to turn it off and let it sit for a couple of minutes, and while it's sitting, getting ready, I'm going to keep talking about carbs. So this particular breakfast is very nice because it's a very sweet combination of slow carbs, which is our oatmeal, and faster carbs, which is apple. So it is really nutritious because it gives you some energy from the very beginning, plus the rest of the slower carbs just keep being digested with the energy being released into your system gradually, bit by bit. So once you've had this breakfast, it feels full for a considerable amount of time, and this is really wonderful. Plus, it's actually a dessert in the beginning of the day, and isn't it awesome? So you start your day with a dessert. Okay, now I think we can wait for a couple more minutes. I would say maybe one more or two more, and we'll have a look at it in 2 minutes. Alright, we've given it 1 or 2 minutes to sit. Now I'm going to open it and put my porridge into the bowl. Actually, this can also be made with milk instead of water, but you know, water comes in handy if you're lactose intolerant, or if you just don't like milk, or if you don't have milk. However, milk would be a nice addition. So, and I'm going to add some honey. Okay. Just 1 teaspoon of honey. Even though honey is really natural and very good for you, it's still important to remember that this is also carbohydrate, plus it's similar to sugar, so do not overdo it. If it's healthy, it doesn't mean that it's actually slimming, because it's not. So we should keep it all in moderation. And at this point, I think this is ready. Yummy. Okay, if you've enjoyed my video, if you've tried this porridge and enjoyed it, please like my video, sign up for my channel, and see you again. Bye.